Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. The stream will start soon, and if it doesn't, I am locked in the basement of a Smoothie King. They have kept me captive for weeks, forcing me to produce content. I'm being held against my will. Please, stay on my dog. Welcome to Smoothie King, how can I take your order? Slightly biased, more like slightly late. Am I right, guys? Thank you. Thank you. I mean, where the fuck is this guy? Where is he? Welcome to Smoothie King. How can I take your order? Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. The stream will start soon, and if it doesn't, I am locked in the basement of a Smoothie King. They have kept me captive for weeks, forcing me to produce content. I'm being held against my will. Please, stay on my dog. Hold the $2! Where's my smoothie? Shut up! Welcome to Smoothie King, how can I take oh. I've transcended, folks. We all knew it was gonna happen. Let me go change. Hey, hey. Folks, we're going to be all right. It came to me in a vision. It came to me in a vision. Everything's going to be all right. Okay? I saw a comment that said I missed the old slightly, but it was that old video. Not me. I don't. That old slightly was a fat alcoholic drug addict. That's who you missed, really? Wow, that says a lot about you. Says a lot about you. Bro, why is Streaks not a thing? Are they done with streaks? They've stopped. My birthday's Wednesday. Happy early birthday, Tyler. Hope you come to the Wednesday stream. We got a decent amount to talk about today. I want to do something newish. Giveaway for how many points Luka scores. I'll tweet this out before the game starts. If someone can predict Luka's stat line 100% accurately, I will send them a Max Christie jersey. How about that? Paul at the 5. I would have felt worse about that loss, but they had those crap games at least 5 times a season for years, even with Doncic. Yeah, I mean... Hold on. I mean... Yeah. That was a tough game. I mean, they were 10-point underdogs. Dude, what the I'm about to fucking lose it, man. Why does this look like this? No, great, now I'm down here. I think we're going to have a good week, weirdly enough. I really do, folks. I know you don't want to hear it right now. Like, believe you me, I know you don't want to hear it. Is there a chance Luke has a stinker tomorrow? Yeah. Sure, I guess. There's a chance for everything. You guys, don't do the predictions in here. I'm not. It's going to be a Twitter thing. I'm partially worried about it because what I'm worried about most tomorrow night, Mavs Lakers. Thought about this quite a bit. The thing that I'm most worried about. Can't wait for Luka to embarrass your ass, my ass. What? Why would he embarrass me? Hey, I sent the email with your thumbnails. Let me know if you're interested. Big fan, by the way. All right, I'll check it out after this. Oh, my tattoo's starting to hurt. I've been thinking about this. The thing I'm most worried about tomorrow. Last night, 9:30 p.m., my ass was in bed. So I'm worried about the 9 p.m. start time. Full stop. I'm worried about it. I think Nico's going to be there, but he should not be there. I'm going to tell you right now. I think if I'm the Mavericks PR team, Nico Harrison, you're not stepping foot in that fucking arena. Slightly past bedtime. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Can we change the entirety of the U.S. to Eastern time zone? I can't stand 10 plus p.m. starts. Why not West Coast? We should have more 6 o'clock games. Like local start time, 6 o'clock games. Hope Nico attends Lakers Mavs games. I don't know why he wouldn't be there. He was at the Warriors game. I'm not sure why he wouldn't. Hey, by the way, I'm going on the DLLS show at 1 o'clock today. So let's get going. Hey, guys, can I get a show of hands in the chat real quick? Show of hands in the chat. How many of you are locked on viewers? Show of hands. Tell Tim Cato I said hi, King. Okay, I will if I remember it. How many of you are comment underneath the videos? Show your hands. Good morning, folks. It is Monday, February 24th, 2025, 10:48 a.m. Central Standard Time. We got a lot to talk about. This morning. A weekend slate of basketball. There are some teams that I really want to talk about. There's something I want to do. I want to start here just on some hating shit. Really not some hating shit. I need you guys to pull your head out of your ass. Just collectively. Tyler with the 199. Thank you very much, King. Just collectively. Need you guys to pull your head out of your ass. So I made a mistake. And typically I don't go on the Locked On comment section. However, I did make a mistake. No, whenever I was asking you guys if you comment on the Locked On thing, I was setting you up. Some of you guys need a reality check down in the comment section. And I'm just going to assume that the people that I saw that I was flabbergasted by are not in here. But some of you need a reality check. Hey, Connor! Where was the one that I was replying to? So this one right here. Man, I feel bad for Slightly. You can see in his eyes he's still hurting from the Luka trade. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? These are always some of my favorite comments. That it's like, man, you could just tell Slightly's going through it. Just look at him. It's like, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? What does that mean? Damn, Slightly, you can tell that he didn't sleep last night. What? I did. I slept 8 hours. What does that mean? I got a good night's sleep. What do you... Yeah, man, Slightly looks like shit. He's really going through it. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks for that. Slightly, I can see it on your face, man. You're dealing with pain, unlike anything else anyone's ever experienced. Thanks, I think. That's like whenever I started popping out at Mavs games. one of the most common things people would tweet whenever I would like repost pictures people took with me would be like, damn, I didn't think he'd be that skinny. Or damn, I thought he was fat. I thought he was way fatter than that. It's like, thank you for that, I think. Thank you. Thanks for that. I thought he'd be way fatter. Okay. Where are the ones? I don't know why you guys are surprised they're missing 7 players from rotation. That shouldn't be surprising. I don't know if this is a comment towards the show or not. Nobody's surprised. We say it a million times. Mavericks with a 5. You like that dude that says he's over his ex, but is clearly still bothered by it? It's okay, man. We still in pain too. I think you guys misinterpret me when I say I'm done talking about the trade like that. I'm done talking about the details and crying over the details that get reaggregated every 2 days. Like, that's what I'm done talking about. No, I was definitely chubby when I started the channel. What were some of the other ones? What Slayers is going back and listening to post-game videos when they lost to something like this? Oh, this is the one I replied to, I think. Oh, wait, no. Connor, here you are again. It's getting annoying at this point. It's counterproductive. Well, what did we say wrong in this video? I don't understand. I don't understand what did we say wrong in this post-game episode? I feel like I've been pretty level-headed about all of this, actually. There was another one I saw that just made me... Man, you guys are clowns. Guys, the Mavs lost the game, obviously. Dude, can y'all please give this team time to get all of its pieces back before y'all talk about expose and who's to blame? All right, I will say, Nick does do the sensationalist thumbnails, right? Nick does the sensationalist thumbnails. Nobody's saying any of this shit, though. I literally said in the show, I think the Mavs are the second best team in the West when they're healthy. I said that in the show. Nick is with the troll titles, yeah. Hey, just a reminder to not talk about Luka dropping 32 points, leading the Lakers. So this is the funny thing about this right now is you can't win. This guy wants us to talk about Luka scoring 32 points on a team that's not the Dallas Mavericks. There was one I wanted to talk about specifically, and I really hate doing this. What? So I remember lockdown demographic is different than yours age-wise. No, I agree. I don't think there's that big of a crossover. It's always funny whenever people come over here like, oh, this is not what I expected. That shit's so funny. You could see in Slightly's eyes. It's like, thanks, I guess. Every time Mavs win nothing, as soon as they lose G League team, this guy is falling. What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? This is what's annoying to me. It's like, you clearly don't watch. We should start a trade of damn Slightly looks great. He's hiding his pain very well. Yeah. That'd be good. You do seem as if you haven't slept a couple of days. Why? I slept great last night, actually. I slept fantastic last night. It was the best night's sleep I've had in a long time, actually. It was like one of those sleeps where I woke up, I was just like, what are we doing today? God, there was one comment. Where did it go? I feel like such a loser doing this. I feel like such a loser. Maybe it's gone. Maybe it's gone. But it was someone like, man, they need to let real fans do this podcast. Hey, you want to know something, buddy? They need to let real fans do this podcast? All right. Okay, fine. How about this? You could go find a microphone for about $30. You can go find a webcam for $15. Please start your podcast. Just hit me up with it, and I will give it a listen. How about that? It's so easy. It really is. All it takes is a $30 microphone and about a $20 webcam. Okay? Let's hear it. Let's hear it. All right, we're gonna have a great week. We're gonna have a great week, folks. So you look like an alcoholic trying to get over his girl. Bro, what does that even mean? Like what? We know you heard something your algorithm was all Luka. I don't watch any videos on this account, so I think this is just because of my channel. I can see the 77-cent margaritas in your eyes. I fucked up some margaritas this weekend. I'll tell you that much. Slightly, you look like you wear adult diapers. Okay, I don't though. But thank you for that. Paul with the 5. F all you comments. Also, we are gonna have a great week. Yeah. When I say we, I mean our little insular group here, right? The Slightly Biased community. I don't mean these losers. Logan with the 2. Have you had Luka nightmares? Hip scoring 80 plus. I had a vision in a dream last night. And folks, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. I am a spiritual person, however. There is a member of this community who we value all members of this community who gets very upset at me for saying stuff like this. And comments a lot. Sometimes the comments are like weirdly threatening in a way that scares me. Very, very religious individual, which is fine. I got no problem with that. But again, sometimes he comments and it's a little threatening to me, but that's okay. I had this is a tangent I don't want to go on. Never mind. But anyways, this is a tangent I don't want to go on. But anyways, I'm a believer that, you get visions from time to time. The universe speaks to you in ways that are oftentimes mysterious. I had a vision last night in a dream. And I don't quite remember what it was. It was one of those that I woke up and it just started quickly going away and fleeting. However, I knew it was a good vision. And I woke up feeling good and optimistic. So we're good. Get to the point, fatty. Lil Nessa with the 2. Slightly positive week. Be our binky tomorrow. I'll be y'all's binky. Nespresso. Splash of oat milk, right? Splash of light dairy-free cream. Man, Slightly got a great night of sleep. You can see it in his eyes. Slightly got a great night of sleep. You can see it in his eyes. Hey, Slightly, you look like you got a great night of sleep, buddy. Bring back the shades? No. The shades are done. It's a bygone era. Here, the problem is I told you guys I was going to give up on them at some point. And I said, what I said was, I won't make a big fuss about it. It'll just happen. I won't make a big fuss about it. It'll just happen. Slightly looks like he's hurting inside. Thank you. Oh my God. Yeah. The lower body of an Olympic athlete. I get it all, right?
You look at the lower body of me, and you would think the upper body would look much different. I understand. Tyler with the $2. Bring back the truly shotgun / rage quitting slightly biased. I've grown so much since then, man. We're not shotgunning Trulies anymore. We're pounding entire bottles of wine. You understand the difference? And if you don't understand the difference, you're too young to be in here, quite frankly. Quite frankly. Did you get those leg muscles from carrying the entire Mavs organization? Yeah. You lost all the aura without the shades? Not true at all. My aura has grown transcendently, right? You might look at the shades era, and we watched the TikTok from back when we had shades, and I looked like a fucking goofball. And that was part of the appeal and part of the charm, right? But we're not goofballs anymore. We're still goofy. But shit's gotten a little serious, and it's time for you guys to grow up as well. You got part of this. You're part of this. Something that's truly been glowing since coming back from vacation. Thank you. Thank you. Would you get a fade? If the Dallas Mavericks win the finals, how about this? Somebody clip this. If the Dallas Mavericks, yeah, we're serious. We're reading YouTube comments now. If the Dallas Mavericks make the NBA finals, I'll shave my head. How about that? So we have learned commenter who gets mad at Sunday's Pastor Isaac right after the Aussie tattoo. Guys, the Aussie tattoo, and we've talked about this. You guys are going to keep bringing this up and hang it over my head. That's fine, whatever. The Aussie tattoo, that was a misunderstanding. Okay, guys? That was a misunderstanding. Watch the clip of First Take, Shannon Sharp. What's the clip? Where can I find it at? I almost just got Sintel'd. Breaking Joel Embiid has announced his retirement from the NBA. There's a split second where I believed it. On X, First Take on X. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Logan with the 2. If Luka scores 60 plus tomorrow, you shave your head bald. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? Okay, here we go. Wait, hold up. Sorry. Wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. I know you can't hear. Hold on. My bad, guys. This is a professional podcast, a professional show, and I'm sorry.
Like this here, legs. I'm gonna put it to you like this here. Legs. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. With Luka playing like that, we got go James.
Wait, hold on. You could see in Leg's eyes he hasn't slept in a couple days. You could see in Leg's eyes. You know, you can actually see it in Legler's demeanor here. He's like, man, what the fuck show am I on? What shitty ass show am I on?
It don't matter. Bron James, Luka Doncic.
Did you just say Lakers in 5?
Yeah, he's speaking like a fan now.
You better get drug
Yeah, he's
tested.
speaking like
Something
a
wrong
fan
with you. Something wrong with you. Lakers in 5. Stop that nonsense.
Okay,
That's ridiculous.
I will
That's
say it one more
ridiculous.
time, Stephen A. Stephen A, one more time. Stephen, I want you to listen close. I want you to listen to legs. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5.
KFC HQ just moved to Plano, by the way. Mavericks in 5? I mean, it's pretty funny, but hey, here's the thing. Does anyone actually think the Lakers stand a chance against the Oklahoma City Thunder? Anybody? Fuck no. Are you joking? Fuck no. No. No, I'm sorry. No. This past weekend, one of the things this past weekend of games really kind of stood out. It's something that really stood out to me. And I'm just going to say this up front and honest. If the Thunder do not make the finals, it is a massive failure for them. Just straight up being honest. Last year, they were the young team. They were ahead of schedule. Cool. Losing the second round, whatever. If they do not make the NBA finals this year, it is a colossal failure for them. Colossal failure. Just saying it right now. They're going to be mid-60s in wins. All of the peripherals, all of the things say that they're a potential all-time great team. If they don't win the NBA finals this year, it is a huge failure on their part. Huge. And if they lose to the Lakers, oh. Am I on Nico's payroll? Yeah, Nico pays me. I'm not even saying this isn't even a Lakers thing. I do not think this Lakers team could beat the Thunder. No. Nobody's really scared of them. People are scared of the Thunder, I promise you. Something's on the Sal and Go payroll. I have really bad news to report to you guys, actually. Really bad news. So you guys know I am a big Sal and Go fan. A big Sal and Go believer. In fact, there was a strange point in time when I was the only person Sal and Go followed on Twitter. This is true. Why? I'm not sure. When did OKC become a god beater? They never do it in the postseason. The Thunder, so far this season, have been leaps and bounds better than any other team in the Western Conference. That's not up for debate. That is not up for debate. It is not a crazy thing to say that if the Oklahoma City Thunder, who currently look head and shoulders better than every other team in the Western Conference, if they do not make the NBA Finals, it is a colossal failure for them. That's just the truth. So were the Suns until they met Luka? Yeah, and that was a colossal failure for them. They had to send an apology letter to their fans, and it basically destroyed their franchise. Okay? You said it since the offseason, though. I know, B-Dot. I know. The emotional people in the chat don't want to hear it. I know. Because now all of a sudden they think the Lakers can compete. You want to know who can compete with them, actually? Is a healthy Mavericks team. Being dead serious. Being dead serious. Can the Mavs beat the Lakers? So let's say a world where the Mavericks are healthy and in the playoffs with their front court. Do you not see the nightmare that poses teams? Seriously. I think people just think the Thunder will shit their pants and miss shots. Yeah, I mean, I get the way that J-Dub and Chet performed in that series against the Mavs last year. Doesn't leave you with a lot of confidence. But come on. I honestly think the Mavs in a best of 7 can beat the Lakers. Yeah, I would pick the Lakers. All right, I'd pick the Mavs. Like, on paper, I'd pick the Mavs in a best of 7, but I don't know if I'd pick against Luka. But I think you've been too high on the Thunder for a while. Dude, the Thunder are 46-10. Like, the Thunder are going to win like 68 games. Well, what's being high about that? That's historically speaking. If you look at teams that have won 65 plus games, it's like they've all won or made the finals. There's like a handful of teams that didn't, like maybe one or two. So if you're confident in them overpowering others in the paint, why'd you say they can't win the chip? They're not healthy enough. I said if the Mavericks miraculously get healthy. The 07 Mavericks are one of the few. But the 07 Mavericks were weird in that their under the hood numbers did not match a team that won 67 games. Right? The Thunder have the under the hood numbers of an all-time great team. And let's not forget, guys, we did something very similar to this last year with the Celtics. Where all of the numbers for the Celtics, everything that they did in the regular season was like, man, it'd be really surprising if this team did not win at all. But we hadn't seen it yet. They had just lost to the 8 seed Miami Heat the year before. It was like, yeah, but they can't do this in the playoffs. They can't do that in the playoffs. OKC net rating right now is 13.1 as a team. The only other team with 13 is the Bulls at 13.4. Celtics last year had 11.6. Fifth all time was fourth last year. There you go. This is what I'm saying. Like everything the Thunder have done so far this season screams all-time great team. So if they're healthy, can they win the chip? Part of why I also say I don't really know if the Lakers are contenders. When you make a ginormous change like that midseason, it's very difficult to win. You have to gel. You have 2 months, maybe even less than that, to come together as a team, figure out your rotations, figure out how to play alongside the guy that you just got. That takes a long time. That takes a long time to gel. We saw it when the Mavs traded for Kyrie. And I think that's similar for the Mavs, and it's made even worse for the Mavs because they don't even get those 2 months. So AD comes back, Gafford comes back, Lively comes back. We're talking about literally like the week before the playoffs start. Next year, maybe the Mavs get somebody, pick up another piece in the summer. Next year, absolutely. Absolutely, the Mavericks will be a championship contending team next year. Absolutely. So the type of guy to rely too heavily on the numbers instead of the eye test. All right, I would love to know. I would love to know why do you think the Thunder can't win based on your expert eye test analysis? Please. Please. Sidley is known for his analysis. 2 timeouts. This message is held for review. So, thoughts on psychopathic trophy hunters like Eric Trumptard? What? A lot of Thunder haters with no reasonable statements. It's hilarious. More of a contender than the Mavs team with Luka. No, Luka takes your ceiling to another level because he can tap into a level you need your superstar to tap into in the playoffs. And there's only a handful of guys that realistically can do that. And you can rely on that. That's just the truth. That was an invasion of your privacy. All right, my bad, Matthew. The Thunder can and should win, but a team that young has literally never won. And last year's playoff appearance did not look good for anyone other than Shea. Yeah, but that was valuable experience, though. Hartenstein changes the dynamic for them completely. They have one good perimeter defender in Dort, but the Lakers have 3 good ball handlers. That's not true. J-Dub has been otherworldly. Like, literally, J-Dub will make an all defensive team this year, as will Dort. Shea might make an all-defensive team as well. They have Alex fucking Caruso, who is worrisome offensively. He hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter of that game against the Timberwolves last night. Yeah, they got Kaysen Wallace. That is what's funny too, is like the Lakers lose to the Hornets, the Lakers lose to the Jazz. Okay, Lakers beat the Nuggets. Hey, I don't think the Thunder can beat them. Like, I don't think the Thunder have enough. It's like, well, why don't we say this after the Hornets game? The Hornets game was 2 days before that. It wasn't like that was a month ago. That was like 2 days before. Slightly, you think a healthy Mavs team can beat OKC if AD and Lively are both healthy? I think they give them problems, serious problems. I still think they're the best matchup. Luka wasn't Luka. You can literally disregard those games, though. I mean, I need to see, and Luka was incredible against that game against the Nuggets. I still need to see a prolonged stretch of Luka looking healthy again before I just think Luka's back. You watch the highlights, and I really want you guys to go back and watch December highlights from last year for Luka. LeBron and Luka will be so tough to beat in a series. All bets are off, in my opinion. We'll see. They had a great win against the Nuggets. Wouldn't Kyrie now be more limited in the OKC series because you don't have to put you don't need to put Dort on Luka? Yeah, Kyrie will have some problems in that series, but it would be the AD, PJ Washington. You just overwhelm them with size series, which really is what they did last year. Luka had a huge game 5. Luka really figured something out. Game 5, game 6. But what was really the downfall for the Thunder in that series? We've said it before. Size. They got killed on the glass. The Thunder did. J-Dub had a terrible series. PJ killed them. Shea got picked on, for sure. For sure. Do you think Nico would have traded Luka if they had won against Boston last year? I thought about that quite a bit. I really don't know. From everything that we've heard, it kind of seems like yes, but I don't. I just think that the Mavs looked at that series and thought we weren't close. Like, it's great we made the finals, but we were not close to winning that series whatsoever. Which, they're not necessarily wrong, but I mean, you still made the finals. Yeah, the Nuggets. So my big takeaway from the weekend of games, and this is my takeaway after watching Nuggets Lakers, is, man, there's just not a second team in the West that you feel really great about. You know, that's just the reality. The Nuggets defensively, the Nuggets just rely too heavily on guys in the rotation. Like Julian Strawther fucking stinks, and God bless him, but like they rely too heavily on guys that I would even call pretty bad rotation players. The Warriors are interesting. They've been playing great since the Jimmy trade. The same thing I said about the Mavericks, same thing I said about the Lakers. It is just hard to go on like a huge run and play against teams with more continuity than you in a 7-game series if you made a huge trade at the deadline and have only played together for 2 months. Historically speaking, history backs this up. It rarely happens. I just fear for our spacing. Yeah, I mean, the Mavericks will have problems offensively in the playoffs. It's why I say, even if the Mavs are fully healthy, I look at the conference and I'm like, it feels as though the Thunder are head and shoulders better than everyone else. It just does. What's Memphis's problem? They don't have, it's the same problem that we've talked about forever with them. They don't have the reliable go-to guy. They just don't. John Morant's had a very, very weird season. Jaren Jackson Jr. has had a tremendous season, has been the best player on that team. But how confident are you, offense, game 5, you're playing the Rockets or something. 3 minutes left. You're down by 3. How confident are you that you have somebody to put the ball in the hands of the last 3 minutes that can get you clutch buckets when the other team in a playoff setting has their best defenders on the court and they've ramped it up to 100? That's the problem. And the Rockets have the same problem as well. The Fred VanVleet stuff's hilarious because Rockets fans were ready to ship him off. You look at all the on-off numbers. And it's like, I don't know. You get he's really important for you guys. He's kind of just this veteran adult presence. I think Houston, to me, just screams they'll probably have a disappointing playoffs. Well, it depends on what you consider disappointing for a team like that. You think the Mavs can't lose in the play-in with all the injuries? Oh, I mean, anyone can lose in the play-in tournament. If the season just ended today, and the play-in teams were the Timberwolves, Mavericks, Warriors, Kings. Shout out to the Kings. 3 of these teams, assuming the Mavs are healthy, are all good. In a 1-game winner-go-home scenario. Thunder or Celtics / Cavs, please tell us. If I had to pick the NBA Finals today, I would pick the Thunder. Oh, man. Do we really? I mean, Cavs Celtics would be great. Cavs Celtics would be great. Give me the Knicks. I want to believe in the Knicks way more than I do. They don't. How long do we go with them not beating any of the top teams before we're like, okay. I think I would say the Celtics, but I do think the Cavs are absolutely there. I don't look at their past playoff performances and think, oh, this Cavs team has no chance because what they did in the playoffs last year. How long? We already passed the point they are pretenders. I don't think the Knicks are pretenders necessarily. It's just would I pick them in a series against the Celtics? No. Memphis defense hasn't been all that either. I don't trust Memphis. I don't trust Memphis at all. Are the other teams that bad? How come the Cavs and Thunder have so many wins? Because they're great. They're great teams. They've been healthy. Well, the Cavs have been healthy. And even then, the Cavs have dealt with some injuries. The Thunder, obviously, without Chet so long, which makes what they're doing that much more impressive. Memphis defense, I already read that. So, yeah, it's weird. It's really weird, the playoffs. Really weird to think about. I mean, whenever I just look at it, just try to be as an outsider, look at the West, look at all the teams, all the problems with these teams, the injuries, the massive roster overhauls in the middle of the season. It's just, I don't see how the Thunder lose in the Western Conference playoffs. I really don't. I have to be honest with you. Now, I could be wrong. Crazier shit has happened. And make no mistake about it. It would be a failure. It's a failure of a season if they do not do it. There's no, oh, they're still young. They're still, no. Windows in the NBA, your opportunities like this, your window of opportunity in the NBA is so much smaller than people always think it is. Like, let's not forget, 2 years ago, the Nuggets were the finals, and it was immediately, will this be one of the best dynasties? Like, it was immediately like, this will be a dynasty. The Nuggets are going to have a dynasty. Like, it's going to happen. Now look at them. Now it's like, how can we get out of that MPJ contract? Like, ugh. If OKC loses, can you go into the next season disrespecting their playoff potential like Chad is? Well, here's the thing. If they lose in the playoffs again in a disappointing way, they got to do something to the roster. Like straight up, they just have to. So to me, it's clearly OKC number one, and then second group, I have LA, Nuggets, and Mavs. That sounds fair to me. That feels really disrespectful to the Grizzlies, but I worry about them so much in the playoffs. Kawhi's dealing with some shit for the Clippers. Just don't trust the Clippers at all. I don't think anyone should. Timberwolves lost last night, but they for some reason are just like locked the fuck in against the Thunder. I will say that. What's your go-to breakfast items? Fruit. I don't usually eat breakfast, like a big breakfast at least. We're going to run your ass when OKC drop out of the first round. That's fine. Hey, if OKC drops out of the first round, you guys can run my ass. You guys have permission. Okay? I was saying this about... Do you think the Thunder will be cooked when they have to Supermax Shea? No, I don't think they'll be cooked. Current and former Salad and Go staff claim raw chicken put customers at risk. I don't know what run my ass means, but they said it. I don't know what that means. Opinion on that huge Jaren Jackson Jr. huge contract extension. Will they trade him? Grizzlies are in an interesting spot because that roster gets very expensive. Healthy Mavs beat OKC. Do you know it? I think a fully healthy Mavs team that in an ideal world had more time to gel would be an interesting series. Your prediction on Luka's stat line against the Mavs? 27, 8, and 9. Despite the loss? Yeah, despite the loss. I opened a restaurant in Frisco. So this is unfortunate news from Salad and Go. And I will say this. I had a stomach bug about a month or two ago that I assumed was a stomach bug. I just assumed it was one of those 24-hour stomach bugs that go around. It was the day after I had Salad and Go. Something to think about. I agree OKC is just insane, but I hate SGA. Why do some players have such favorable whistles? I mean, SGA's... I honestly don't think SGA's whistle's that crazy. Truth be told, I hope Nico's not there. I really do. I want to... So over this weekend, one of the biggest stories over the weekend was the Philadelphia 76ers embarrassing themselves even further by losing to the Brooklyn Nets. But beyond that, the Joel Embiid situation has reached a shocking point. And we have now got to the point where it sounds like he could potentially miss the rest of the season. The 76ers and Joel Embiid are consulting doctors and considering alternative options on his injured knee. Sources tell ESPN sides have hope for progress in Embiid's body, but his efforts to play in current treatments, including injections, have not provided any improvement. Embiid has scored 15 or fewer points in consecutive games for the first time in almost 4 years. And again, experienced swelling in his left knee after Saturday's home loss to Brooklyn Nets. So it is very possible the season has come to a conclusion. Very possible the season has come to a conclusion for Joel Embiid. And it makes you want to look at the 76ers team and wonder, what the fuck happened? This team is such a hot mess. And I thought, it's so difficult to say this. A team that's in the play-in tournament, a team that's dealt with so many injuries, a team that traded their superstar, super-duper megastar in the middle of the season out of nowhere, might not have the worst vibes in the league. How does that even sound possible? The Sixers might have the worst vibes in the league. They just might. 20-36. They've lost 7 in a row. The Suns are up there as well. They've lost 7 in a row. And we'll talk about the Suns a little bit here in a little bit. What's concerning about this seven straight losses is they're obviously super injured, right? What's even more concerning about these 7 straight losses is Embiid's played in all of them but 2. And now it has looked awful. And now it's coming out that he might miss the remainder of the season. Paul George, Podcast P, looks like one of the worst. You might have the 2 worst contracts in the league on the same team. When was the last time we saw that? My screen is staticky. It looks good over here, but my screen is staticky. I can't see a single thing on my monitor. How the fuck do I fix this? How the fuck do I fix this? This really is the poltergeist. What the fuck? Check the plug. What the fuck's happening? Nico's haunting me? Maybe. All right, here we go. We're back. But anyways, I wanted to read. I feel bad doing this. I feel bad like reading, other teams' subreddits whenever they're going through it. But I just feel like I want to do that. It makes me feel a little bit better about myself in some ways. That's the ass residue from talking about the 76ers. Yeah, it could be. Their team on paper is actually really good. Yeah, on paper about 5 years ago. But then you dive a little bit deeper into it, and it's, Podcast P's been a terrorist for quite some time. And let me read you Paul George's stat line for the last 7 games. Okay, he's averaging 11 points per game over that stretch. 2.5 turnovers, or 2.5 assists, 1.5 turnover. 43% from the field. Only attempting 1.5 free throws per game. 31% from 3. 9 points in a loss against the Miami Heat, 3 of 11. 14 points in a loss to the Detroit Pistons, 6 of 10. 12 points in a loss against the Milwaukee Bucks. 14 points. Loss to the Raptors. 2 points in 36 minutes in a loss to the Brooklyn Nets. 1 of 7 from the field. 17 points. 20-point loss to the Celtics. 15 points. 5 of 10 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. And their loss to the Brooklyn Nets a couple nights ago. Yeah, you heard me right. 2 points. Obviously dealing with an injury. About to turn 35 years old. $49 million this year, 51 next, 54 year after that, $56 million player option. Yikes. You might have the 2 worst contracts on the same team. The 2 worst contracts in the league, because Embiid's up there. Is the Paul George contract worse than the Ben Simmons contract? They're probably about equally bad. Embiid's contract is shocking, man. I know, Paul George being 35 is fucking nuts. Embiid's about to turn 31. $51 million this year, 55 year after that, 57 year after that, 62 year after that, $67 million player option in 2029. You're going to be paying a 34-year-old Joel Embiid $62 million, a 35-year-old Joel Embiid $67 million. And here's the problem. Embiid, this shit's like downhill for Embiid. We've seen the best Embiid you're going to see. That's what's kind of sad about this whole thing. Paul George, it's like 35 years old. Is Paul George going to turn it around? Let's read the Philadelphia 76ers subreddit. Saw on Twitter, did the Eagles win the Super Bowl? Yes. What did it cost? Sixers. Oh, they're posting Joel Embiid edits. They're posting Joel Embiid getting injured edits. Oh, man, this is just sad. I actually don't. I actually don't want to look at this. Doctors suggest Joel Embiid may need radical procedure like microfracture surgery, meniscus replacement, low-dose radiation therapy, low-dose radiation therapy, or osteotomy, breaking a bone in the hip to realign the joint to heal, which would potentially sideline him for 6 months to over a year. Go to Germany, Joel. Embiid needs our support more than ever, guys. I know the season has been horrible to watch, but he's still human. Our human. Whenever the Reddit comments are sounding like the end of a Netflix show, things are really bad, folks. Things are really bad. I can't imagine at this point in his career that Embiid could come back even remotely close to a max level player after another major surgery. It's hard to not sound over dramatic when saying his career is close to over, but it's looking like the reality. Damn. Just retire. That's the shittiest part about all of this. Is if you're a fan, I know they're saying this, and I'm thinking they're genuine, just looking out for their guy. You don't want to make it to where you're dealing with the repercussions of these injuries for the rest of your life. But if you're a fan, a Sixers fan, and honestly, I want y'all's take on this. You owe him $200 million over the next 5 years as a franchise. More than that, I think. Like, you're probably deep down rooting for him to retire. That's what makes it, as a fan, being like weird. Being a Sixers fan in 2025. First post. We aren't in as bad of a situation as it looks. The only hope I have in this season is keeping that pick and drafting a top 6 in a good draft class. After that, we'll have a similar roster, bringing back Yabu and maybe Grimes. post 17 hours later. Maybe we are just cursed for life. I never believed in curses, but I'm starting to think someone put a legit curse on us. Man. Someone's losing streak will end tonight. Will end in the must-lose game tonight between the 25th seed Sixers, losers of their last 7 games, and the 23rd seed Bulls, losers of their last 6 games. They are in full-fledged tank mode, guys. Who are they rooting for, I wonder? Do they want to tank? The reality for the Sixers is that their absolute ceiling is getting the 10th spot, winning a pair of playing games on the road, and garnering the 8th seed, then setting a date with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. More realistic is this. They take the 10th and final play-in spot, lose one of the 2 road games, and are forced to give the Thunder a lottery pick. No, that's what's happening more than likely. What do their fans think? Are their fans full-fledged tank? I haven't really paid attention. How can you count the team out after losing to the Raptors and the Nets twice in 5 games? Joel's also likely not playing today unless the Shams announcement was pure speculation by him. I always find it interesting when like coping fan bases are, well, the Shams announcement was just speculation, right? Shams isn't just announcing shit out of his ass, guys. We've done this before. We've done this with the Mavs. If Shams says something, it's probably right. It's about a 99.9% chance that it's right. Something is brewing for tomorrow's game. Tomorrow's a must-lose game for the Bulls. Battle for the 6th spot, giving the Bulls a 37% chance to win a top 4 pick, 9% chance to win a number 1 pick. Oh, we have an epic tanking battle tonight. This is gonna be epic. You might see teams tank the play-in games. Have we ever seen that? You might see a team take a play-in game. Do you guys think we'll ever see that? I think it's possible. I think there could be a team out there that has like a lottery protected pick going somewhere and is like, yo, we don't want to be the 8th seed. Like we don't want to be the 8th seed. We don't want to make the fucking playoffs. We're gonna rest Embiid tonight. What? It's a play-in game. Yeah. We're resting Paul George tonight. Huh? What do you mean rest? Yeah, they're just a little tired. No, the Mavs didn't make the play-in. I guess that's true. The Mavs had an opportunity to make the play-in game. I will say this, though. What was required for them to miss the play-in tournament? The Thunder had to lose to like 2 bottom-tier teams, I think, and the Mavs had to win 2 games in a row. It wasn't like the Mavs were in control of their own destiny. That's one of the reasons why I defended that decision so hard. The odds were so slim. And I think the Thunder ended up winning those 2 games anyways. Or the Thunder ended up winning 1. They had to lose out. Thoughts on LeVar Ball losing a foot? Yeah, that shit's sad. Still positive. Still positive. Through and through. Honestly, LeVar is honestly an inspiration. It's time for this team to go full send on the tank. All right, it seems like everybody, not a single comment in this thread is like, no, come on, guys. We need to make the play-in tournament. Man, the Embiid stuff is so sad. Look, they're just posting edits. Oh, this shit's cooked, man. I feel sad. Once the edits start flying, it's over. You understand? This feels more like a funeral video. Yeah, once the edits start flying, it's done. It's over. It's cooked. You never stood a chance. And let's just say that it is over. Let's just say that it is over. Right? let's revisit the process. Will the process go down as one of the sport's biggest failures? Such an interesting question. Is there a way? I want to look at the draft history where it's not players that they traded. I want to see like who they left the draft with. Every single like draft history one is like Mikal Bridges. It's like, okay, well they fucking traded that on draft night. I know he was technically drafted by them. No, get top three draft picks. Could have been great if they drafted better. So, I mean, if you tank for that long and you get, all right, you got your generational guy in Joel Embiid. Is it a failure if you never make it to the conference finals? I mean, how could it not be, right? How could it not be considered a failure? When did the process start? Embiid was, wow. God, man. It's crazy Embiid was in the 2014 draft. When was the Noel pick? Was Nerlens in the same draft as Embiid? Crazy Nerlens Noel's out the league. 2013 draft was Nerlens Noel. But he missed the first season. Noel was the 6th overall pick in that draft. And then was traded to the Sixers for Drew Holiday. Remember when Nerlens Noel almost got $72 million from an organization we all love? Yep. Wow. This team has lucked out quite a bit on some disastrous roster decisions. All right, so you draft Joel Embiid, 2014. He barely plays his first 2 years, or does he miss his first 2 years? Misses his first season entirely. Misses his second season entirely, and then only plays 30 games in his rookie season as a 22-year-old. That's crazy that's how his career started. But finishes 3rd in Rookie of the Year despite playing 31 games because he was that great as a rookie. Then Embiid, from that point forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight All-Star appearances. 6 All-NBA appearances over that stretch, as well as an MVP. Finished top 3 in MVP voting 3 times. Top 10 4 times. Finished 2nd in Defensive Player of the Year voting as a 23-year-old. His first full season in the league. Pity MVP. Led the league in scoring twice. Who do you pair with in that draft? Who do you draft with him? You drafted Jeremy Grant in the 2nd round. That ain't bad. Better odds for the Hall of Fame, Derrick Rose or Joel Embiid. Oh, Embiid's 1,000% making the Hall of Fame. You followed up by drafting Jahlil Okafor the next season. 3rd overall. Jahlil Okafor, an offensive beast in college. The league was clearly trending in a direction where Jahlil Okafor was not going to be a player that was playable in the modern NBA. He did average 17.5 points per game as a rookie, though. That's crazy. 17.5 points per game as a rookie, 7 rebounds. He finished 5th in Rookie of the Year voting that year. I mean, that would be a runaway this year. Runaway. Cat won Rookie of the Year that year. Then you draft Ben Simmons. Hey, no revisionist history here. Ben Simmons, clear and obvious number 1 overall pick. Ben Simmons. Was Ben Simmons a bust? Number 1 overall pick. 3-time All-Star. All NBA in his career. Clear and obvious bust. I would say yes as a number 1 overall pick. Right? But there was those 4 years. Didn't play his rookie season. Had that foot injury, right? Then won Rookie of the Year. Remember that whole saga? Him and Donovan Mitchell. What is a rookie? Donovan Mitchell wore that Adidas hoodie that said the definition of a rookie on it. Nearly 16 points per game as a rookie, 8 rebounds. Second full season. Made the All-Star game. 17 points per game, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. My God, man. Ben Simmons was fucking good. No, Ben Simmons was better than Donovan Mitchell that year. The whole thing was, well, Ben Simmons isn't actually a rookie because he had a full year in the league already. Then 2019-2020, All NBA third team. 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. 16.5 points per game. Led the league in steals. Then 2020-2021, All-Star. 2nd in Defensive Player of the Year voting. 12th in MVP voting. Then had that really weird 2021-2022 season. Hurt. The disastrous playoff performance against the Hawks the year before that. Held out the entire season. Got traded to the Nets. And since then, 6 points per game, 6 points per game, 6 points per game. Fuck, man. That's insane. So you can't really blame them for this. But it didn't work out. And you know what, though? They did turn Ben Simmons into James Harden. Trae Young's defensive aura ruined him. Absolutely. Then 2017, you draft Markelle Fultz first overall. Colossal bust. That is, we can argue whether Ben Simmons is considered a bust. I would probably say yes. I mean, number 1 overall picks flaming out before they hit 30 years old. Hard not to call that a bust. Markelle Fultz, absolutely a bust in every sense of the word. Played 33 games with the Philadelphia 76ers. 33 games. They gave up on him when he was 21. Traded him for Jonathan Simmons. Now, they did get some first-round picks that turned into Tyrese Maxey in this deal, by the way. So you could look at it that way. This one is just sad. That freak shoulder injury that he had that just completely and totally ruined his career. But we do revisionist history on this. I mean, Markelle Fultz was pretty much the consensus number 1 overall guy in that draft. It wasn't like they reached. It wasn't like they made an Anthony Bennett level pick. Like that, Markelle Fultz going first overall was what everyone was saying. Wasn't there a conspiracy Markelle Fultz had a motorcycle accident that ruined his career? I don't know how much of that is a conspiracy versus just like widely accepted now. Then you had this disaster, 2018. Philly kid, Mikal Bridges, you draft him, and then you trade him for Zaire Smith, Texas Tech legend, who has a soy allergy, right? An allergic reaction that makes him lose 50, 60 pounds. I mean, it was crazy. He got super sick and was just out the league pretty much immediately. Zaire Smith, almost died because of an allergic reaction. Out the league almost instantly. What else did the Sixers get in that trade? They got, that's right. I remember this because I researched this. They got the Heat unprotected 2021 first round pick in this trade that they traded for Tobias Harris. That's right. Tobias Harris. All Sixers fans love him. Zaire Smith. Yeah, Zaire Smith had a bad allergic reaction and almost died. Yeah, Zaire Smith bounced around a tiny bit. Then you do luck out. 21st overall, Tyrese Maxey turns into a star for you, but it's pretty much all downhill from there. You get Tobias Harris, you made a big trade for him, and he was solid. Gave him a ginormous contract. He became pretty much untradeable. Then you traded for James Harden. That was a disaster. James Harden quit on the team. They chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler, as said by Jimmy Butler. Not a smart decision, obviously. Jared McCain, they did luck out with Jared McCain. Jared McCain looks great. He's played 23 games before needing a season-ending injury. Then a season-ending surgery. Just a mess of epic proportions. A mess of epic proportions. And now you look at their team. And yeah, I guess you can squint and be like, okay. You could talk yourself into this. Let Embiid get his surgery. Let Paul George get whatever surgery he needs. Can we just get like 50 or 60 really solid games out of them next year and have them healthy for the playoffs? Do you think Joel deserved MVP over Jokic? I do kind of think that was a pity MVP for Embiid, but with that being said, Embiid had like a 3-year historic stretch that him getting an MVP out of that is not bad. I think looking back at it historically, it makes sense. You look at their roster moving forward. Embiid just makes so much money. My God, look at this shit, man. So for next year, you have Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey taking up nearly 100% of your cap space. 55 for Embiid, 51 for Paul George, 37 for Tyrese Maxey. And Maxey deserves every penny, by the way. Do you think Embiid winning MVP cost Luka last year? Yeah, but let's not forget, Luka finished third. Couldn't you argue Embiid's floor has been a top 5 player since 2021? Oh, yeah, Embiid's been a top 5 player. The only reason you would not have Embiid in your top 5, in which I put him out of my top 5 one year, was the playoff stuff. That's it. Regular season, there's absolutely no debate. Embiid playing in the Olympics last year is one of the most shocking things. I mean, you don't have room to do much of anything financially. They can make a trade. Who the fuck is going to want Paul George's contract? Who on earth is going to want that contract? Who on earth is going to want Embiid's contract? Nico? Not even Nico. Not even Nico. And what's they pretty much had the world in front of them this past offseason. Remember, they had so much cap space. And it was Paul George. Sad. That's not the only sad team in the league this year. We talked about the worst vibes. How is it possible for the Mavs to not have the worst vibes, all things considered? The Philadelphia 76ers, it's so sad when you think about it. Like, it's probably over for us. You know? Like, we have rode so hard for our boy Joel Embiid, and it just might be done. That's sad to think about. The Phoenix Suns are also absolutely pathetic. They lost last night to the Raptors. And that I was watching the end of that game. I've been watching closely the Phoenix Suns. I watch almost all of their games just because it is burning down to the ground. It is burning down to the ground. Burning down to the ground in Phoenix, folks. Pelicans have bad vibes, but look, realistically speaking, what were the expectations for the Pelicans entering the season? It happened immediately for them, right? It happened immediately. It wasn't like this was a strung out thing. Like, it happened immediately. Immediately you knew it was over. DeJounte Murray broke his hand the opening night. The Phoenix Suns last night lose to the Toronto Raptors. A game that you kind of had to see to believe. It made me think that that this season is over for them. And it reminded me so much. Of the Mavericks 2023 season when they started to get those late season losses to the Hornets, where it was just like, oh man, this team is fucked. This team is done. Like, it's over for this team. I think it's worse than the 23 Mavs. This is worse. The 23 Mavs, they made a trade. They bought low on Kyrie Irving, and it didn't work. Their team was already not good before that. Let's not forget, they were already hovering around 500 before that trade. We're not doing violence for the Suns right now. The Sixers is just sad because Embiid's injury and stuff like that just makes it a little bit sad. When your guy goes out like that, it just sucks. The Suns one is, we might have to put on a comedy, like a circus song for the Suns. It's been a circus. Ishbia. Look, trading for KD, I thought made sense. That was coming off of a really, really disappointing loss in the playoffs. And maybe they just looked at it and said, Chris Paul's getting older. We need another star. Maybe they looked at it internally and thought, Ayton's not going to be that guy. Correct. Mikel's great. Can't reliably be that guy. Also probably correct. Cam Johnson's not going to be that guy. Also probably correct. Now, would they be in better shape if they just had those guys and it was built around Booker and you had Mikal Bridges as like a great third guy? Maybe you were able to trade Ayton and other stuff and picks, the picks that you ended up trading for KD for maybe a younger co-star, possibly. But the KD trade I can get. You went for it. It hasn't really worked out, and it's probably in its final stages here. Everything else after that, you make the Bradley Beal trade. Okay, Chris Paul had a huge contract that was expiring. You needed to move that for something. Trading for probably the worst contract in the league is just so stupid to me, especially when, I don't know, you didn't really need Bradley Beal, you know? Like, you didn't really need Beal. Phoenix was tough against Denver in 22-23. So if memory serves correctly in that series, the Nuggets won in 6, right? The only 2 games that the Suns won in that series, KD and Booker went fucking nuclear. Like, it required damn near perfect performances from those two for them to win games. And that series was tied 2-2, wasn't it, at some point? I never felt like the Suns had a chance in that series just because of how good those two had to be just for them to, like, scrape together wins. Yeah, 70% on. It was insane. Like, when I say they had, it wasn't like, oh, well, superstars rise in the playoffs sometimes. That's not what I'm saying. It was like God-level performances. Yeah, it was like historic level shooting. Do the Mavs need KD? I think it's bad. I think the Mavs will try for KD in the summer. I really do think that. So they go for Beal. And it was reported Proud Vet says it. It was reported that summer that they were interested in Kyrie as well. They knew they needed another guard. Beal was just this redundant player. They didn't have a point guard. They were going to go point Beal, point Book, alternate. But worse than that, you traded for a guy making $50 million who is not worth anywhere near $50 million. Bradley Beal is still a fine player. Like, Bradley Beal is still fine as a player. Nowhere near $50 million. And plus, the no trade clause, which fucked you. I can't believe Beal pulled that card. I just kind of thought the way that these things usually work, and it's kind of unprecedented. You don't see a lot of no trade clauses in the NBA. The way that this usually works is, you guys want to trade me? All right. Beal just being like, nah. Not waving that shit. It's pretty hilarious. Do you remember the Ringer article calling Booker the best point guard in the NBA? Yes. You also trade DeAndre Ayton. Okay, you matched Ayton. You let him go to restrict the free agency. I thought that was a good choice on your end. Let the market play out for him. He's obviously not worth a max contract. You know what? If a team comes to us and says, hey, we're going to give Ayton $30 million. All right, then we'll match it. Maybe we'll talk about signing trades, whatever. But okay. I thought that was a good decision on their end. The Pacers come in, offer him $30 million. Suns match. Clear and obvious that Ayton is not a key piece on a contending team. His stats are great. His stats look good. I mean, I'm looking at Ayton's stats right now. Good God, his career, 16.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds. Like, if you just looked at those, you would say, whoa, this is one of the best centers in the league. Yeah, I go on DLLS at 1. This is one of the best centers in the sport. Doesn't play defense. Soft. Way too reliant on mid-range jump shots. I actually watched most Suns game in Phoenix podcast trading for Nurkic, who's almost $20 million and completely useless and no 3-and-D defenders. Yeah, so they decide we need to get off of Ayton. We need to get off of Ayton's contract. So they trade DeAndre Ayton along with, and this one stings in hindsight, but you didn't really know at the time, to be fair, second round pick who had some, like, there was some buzz about him, but a second round pick to Amani Kamara. You trade away Ayton and Tumani Kamara. That one does sting. And end up getting Yusuf Nurkic, who is fucking horrible, and you eventually had to attach a first-round pick just to get off of. You also got Grayson Allen in that trade, who's been a good role player for you. But you turn your, like, your a tradable contract in Ayton, who maybe you could have attached other stuff to get, like, real upgrades, for Yusuf Nurkic, who is terrible, and you eventually needed to attach a first-round pick just to get off of. And now your team is tied to Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. Those three don't mesh. That's just the reality. Yusuf Nurkic was a 0 for you. I mean, that one really hurts. Can you please see the Mosley report on Luka? Who's Mosley? Jamal Mosley? And you spent the last couple of years just having to piece together a rotation around it. Orlando coach? I know Jamal Mosley. What Jamal Mosley report on Luka? What does that even mean? I don't think PG is that big of an issue. If you have a big three of Beal, Booker, and KD, the point guard will only bring the ball up and hand off. I just don't see a big use for that. So, I mean, they lucked out and they got Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones on the minimum. Like, that's good value. They did a good job there. The problem is they've realized this quickly. Beal's not a good defender. You know, when he locks in, he's not terrible. But consistently, not a great defender. Booker, kind of similar thing. KD, good defender. He's just older. You don't really have any great front court defenders. Any great defenders in your front court. And Tyus Jones is a fucking cone. So when you have all of those things, having a cone on the court like Tyus Jones really starts to hurt you because you don't have the guys who can make up for that on your roster. And now they lose a game to the Raptors last night. Grayson Allen hits a 3 with 5 minutes left. The Suns are down by 2 points. And it kind of feels like, all right, they're making a run in this game. The Raptors aren't good. The Raptors are kind of trying to bottom out a little bit as well. The Raptors in the next 3 minutes went on a 19-4 run. The Suns ended up getting blown out in that game. And it felt like, yeah, the Raptors just started bombing threes and hitting it. And it felt like one of those gut punches where I was like, oh my God, this shit's over. Like, I've been there. 7 threes in a row. I've been there as a Mavs fan. When you watch it unfold and you're like, oh my God, this shit's done. Like, there's 18-point clutch. Yeah, it was a clutch game and they lost by 18. The benches were emptied with 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left, the benches got emptied. Sad. 2-8 in their last 10. I mean, look at they started the season 8-1, guys. They started the season 8-1. My God. So what does that mean? They're 19-29 since then? With the hardest schedule remaining, yes. I just did a tankathon spin one time and it had the Rockets getting the 3rd pick via the Suns paying. So that does kind of suck for the Nets. Hey, the Nets are half a game out of the play-in tournament. The Nets have been like a little too good this year. They're not bottoming out for their own sake, but also they traded away pretty much all of the Suns picks, and the Suns might be in big fucking trouble. Big fucking trouble, man. Where do you want KD to go? So trading a guy like that in the summer versus midseason is way different because the number of potential suitors grows rapidly. I absolutely think the Mavs will make a call about Kevin Durant. How serious does it get? I don't know. But make no mistake about it. The Mavs will be on the phone. I think the Warriors probably try again. Especially since KD came out and was pretty much like, yo, I didn't say I wouldn't want to go to the Warriors. I just didn't want to get traded midseason. I think the Warriors can still make it work contractually, right? Isn't there ways they can still make it work? I think the Timberwolves will be interested. The Rockets are interesting to me because they're so young, and I don't know if they're going to want to go old like that. Like, I think the Rockets will be very aggressive in the summer, but I think they'll look for like a younger guy. Rockets want Booker, yes. Lakers, they're pretty much out of that. The Nuggets are an interesting sleeper one. Okay, so you can be like, that's what I'm saying. In the summer, it becomes a lot more interesting because you'll have teams coming off the playoffs. Let's say the Thunder do flame out again. Let's say J-Dub doesn't play well in the playoffs, part 2. Maybe they consider it. Again, they're so young, though. I don't know if they go that old. The Nuggets don't have the assets to trade for him. So I was actually thinking about this last night because someone tweeted me about it. And then it made me think about it. What the Kevin Durant market? Obviously, he's not going to go for what the Suns gave up for him. You're not going to get 2 like really solid young guys and like 5 picks. That's not happening. Especially considering, I believe he's expiring going into the summer. You got 1 year left, so you're going to have to extend him. You're going to have to pay him. if KD goes to the Suns and says, "Yo, if you do trade me, here's a list of teams. I'm not going to sign with any other team than these." That changes the value. Right. It could be like what Jimmy did, where it's like, "Hey, Memphis, and I'm sorry to pick on Memphis, but this is just what happened. Memphis, I'm not going to sign an extension with you, so don't trade for me." I don't think the return's going to be that big. So I do think the Nuggets could go like Jamal Murray, whatever else other contracts. And maybe that's just the Suns don't really have a choice. That's why I think he'll be a Mav. The problem with the Mavs is they don't have a Jamal Murray MPJ contract. Like, they don't have a contract in the 30s outside of guys you're not going to trade. So you'd have to, like, cut so deep into your rotation, and that becomes such a difficult trade. But I do think that the Mavs could get there. And I think if the Suns' strategy is, let's just get some role guys and try to be competitive still next with D-Book, then yeah, you could look at a package centered around like Gafford, Caleb Martin, Klay Thompson, and be like, you know, it's not a bad group. Like, we actually have a pretty deep rotation now. OKC signed Gordon Hayward. Why not KD? Yeah, the Hayward trade was basically free for them. I do think KD's value will take a hit. But with that being said, I don't think it's going to take that big of a hit. That package is kind of stinky. I can't lie. Well, and then picks as well. I don't think it's that stinky. Think about your other options. Minnesota. I mean, it's going to be Julius Randle. Like, does that make us feel anything at all? Jaden McDaniels, like, do we feel great about paying him $30 million a year? Not really. Toronto? Interesting. Would he want to go to Toronto? They traded for Caleb just to include him in the KD trade. I mean, they traded for Caleb to have a contract in the summer. Like, they didn't want to pay Quentin Grimes, Caleb Martin under contract. No, I would not be okay with D Live getting traded for KD. And I don't think it would happen, actually. Are people going to realize trading for these grandpas does not work out? No, desperate teams with GMs who are fighting to keep their job. We always forget about this part of it. We always forget about this part, the human side of it. It's not like we're on NBA 2K where, whatever. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Like, this is my team, whatever. There's a human side where it's like, man, if we don't start doing something in the next year and a half, I'm going to get fired. Let's go get KD. And if we trade future picks and it doesn't work out, who gives a shit? I'm going to get fired anyways. I had hoped the Mavs wouldn't be that desperate team, but here they are. They're going to be desperate. GMs want to keep their jobs, so they do the most short-sighted thing ever. Yeah, I mean, fans, we look at the future of the team in like a 10-year window. GMs do not look at it like that. That's why I haven't really spoke about Nico doing the 3 to 4 years as the future thing. I thought him trading Luka and then talking about the future was stupid, but I didn't really pay much mind to the 3 or 4 years thing because I think that's probably about right, honestly. 3 to 4 years, like when you're just looking at your group, that seems about right to me. In terms of like a window, a realistic window. I mean, the Jordan Bulls won 6 rings. That's only 2 more years than 4 years. PJ has become overrated as a defender, as a ball handler from mid-range. No, I don't think PJ's overrated. PJ's next contract's going to be interesting because then there's going to be a lot of expectations on him. PJ feels properly rated. I agree with Chum Lee from Locked On Mavs. Let's bring Jaylen Brown over KD. Chumley from Pawn Stars? That's one of the most out-of-pocket things I've seen on this chat. That's one of the most insane things that's been said in this chat. Do you think Luka will recruit PJ/Gafford to LA in 2026 summer? Gafford, maybe. I think this is going to be. I think this summer in the NBA is going to have fucking fireworks, man. I think this summer is going to be crazy. I really do. Now that might not end up being true because anytime I say something's gonna be crazy or not crazy, the reverse happens. So it's probably gonna be boring. But I'm just looking at it like the Lakers are gonna do something huge. That goes without being said. The Mavericks are gonna try to do something huge. Let's say the Bucks lose in round 1. Get ready for an entire summer of that. KD's going to get traded in the summer, so get ready for an entire summer of that. Let's say the Thunder flame out. The Thunder are going to be uber aggressive. Hate the Mavs, love the NBA. It's fair. If the Mavs trade Kyrie this summer, would you be mad? I mean, I'd just be sad, obviously. Jazz trading Lowry feels like it absolutely could happen. They're just rudderless. If the Mavs can get KD, I 100% believe Kyrie would be willing to take a pay cut. He wants to win. I feel very confident that Kyrie is going to stay here. Very confident. And that I'm combining that with just some stuff that I've heard as well. From people who have heard things. I want to make it very clear. I don't have like direct sources, but I do talk to people who have sources. I feel very confident that Kyrie's going to stay. That'd be really, really surprising. Kyrie kind of okay with the Luka trade? No, I don't think Kyrie knew about the Luka trade. I don't at all think that. Sources, trust me, bro. Yeah, I mean, that is partially it. You're just gonna have to trust me. I'm not saying these sources are rock solid, but they are people who know stuff who've said to me, like, yeah, Kyrie's gonna stay. My whole thing is this. I don't think the Mavs would have made that trade. Logan with the $2. Would Luka or the Spurs be possible? He loves Texas. Yeah, I guess it could be. I don't think they would do that if they felt like Kyrie would have immediately been like, I want out now. Does that make sense? But I don't think Kyrie said anything. Yeah, I've seen all the lame ass. Yeah, Luka worked out over vacation. Cool, man. And then Bob Myers, like, that's not what we've seen. We've seen Luka work out with the Lakers. It's like, oh my God, this is going to be the most annoying shit in the world, isn't it? The most annoying shit in the world. Did you already cover the Luka topic? What Luka topic? Fans love Kyrie. He has no reason to leave as long as AD isn't broken. Yeah, why does he hate Bob Myers so much? I just don't think, now granted, this was him in the studio. I don't like him on game calls. That's it. That's really it. And I wasn't like poo-pooing Bob Myers for saying that. I was just saying in general, the whole like, hey, he's really trying hard. It's just like, I got an ESPN notification on my phone from him hitting a step back 3. It's like, is this what we're doing now? Like, why couldn't you guys do this when he was here? This whole situation is going to be a reminder of how the league does a pretty poor job marketing guys. Because literally, I have first takeover off to the side here. They spent half of it talking about Luka. They show the post-game coach speeches. You know, it's like, Luka, like it's crazy. Luka had a great game against the Nuggets, but that was like his averages damn near. It's just annoying. It's like, you guys could have been doing this, by the way. Like, let this be a lesson to you. ESPN, you guys could have been doing this. You guys could have stopped being on some hating ass shit all the time and talked nicely about this guy and not been annoying as fuck about him constantly. Would Luka have won the MVP if he had the exact same season in LA last year? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is hilarious. Thoughts on people named Douglas? Shout out to people named Doug, man. Locked in Luka with a coach like Redick, and having the Lakers sheen is going to have him win multiple MVPs. Well, we'll see. It is annoying to me as a Mavs fan. It's like, man, you guys could have been doing this, by the way. Like, yeah, oh my God, Luka be the face of the league. He could have been the face of the league here if you wanted him to. He talks shit. He's really good. He's fun to watch. Like, you guys could have been doing this, by the way. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Luka's offensive ceiling is even higher than it is now. He has a real coach. Their offense does look good. He was born to watch the past 6 seasons, apparently. Adam Silver. Oh, dude, if the Lakers played the Celtics in the finals this year, the ratings would be fucking crazy. The ratings would be otherworldly. Make no mistake about it. I think healthy 2025 Mavs with Luka had a legit shot at winning a title. I mean, this version of the Mavs healthy has a legit shot at winning the title. I'm telling you that right now. But I don't know if they'll get healthy, and they won't have had enough time to gel. Big Marcus, I would love LA versus Boston. Hell yeah, that would be sick. I mean, that would be sick. It would. The storylines would be crazy. The Celtics would obliterate them. But it would be fun. Did the Mavs scrap Slovenia night? I hope. Like, why? Honestly, and I'm not trying to. I'm not trying. Like, they're talking about Luka right now. I'm not trying to be mean here, but why would the Mavs have a Slovenia night still? Unless every team has a Slovenian night, in which case, okay, that's fair. The Bulls have it, okay. If it's a commonplace thing, then I'm cool. That's cool. If it's commonplace, is there just like an every country night? Shout out to Istok. Bulls have it because there's a big Slovenian population there. Yeah, and Cleveland has it as well, right? Huge Slovenian population in Cleveland. Miami has it. That's because of Dragic, probably. All right, maybe every team has it. All right, if every team has it, then yeah, keep it, obviously. If it was only because of Luka, then yeah. They're probably scrapping that if I had to guess. Toronto. How big is the Slovenian population in Dallas? I can't imagine that big. Andre the 2, any star hooping with Braun will get huge attention. That's true as well. I think a lot of the big Slovenian populations in the United States are more north. Population by U.S. city. Let's see. This is just giving me Slovenian population in Slovenian cities. I think Luka to the Nuggets could happen. I don't think it's I don't think it's impossible that Luka leaves the Lakers at some point. Luka retiring a Laker. I mean, that's also possible. I would say, I mean, it's stupid to say this now. I felt much more confident about Luka's chances of retiring a Maverick than I do his chances of retiring as a Laker. And I do think that Luka probably would have retired a Mav had he not been traded. Andre the 2, Kyrie with Braun was huge. Kai and Dallas Crickets. Kyrie's still pretty popular, to be fair. But yeah, obviously playing next to LeBron is shines a little bit more of a spotlight on you. Kyrie can opt out and sign somewhere else with longer years than max. Yeah, but where? No team has money. Brooklyn has money. Do you think Kyrie's going back to Brooklyn? Like, what would be... That would be shocking. How bad would it hurt watching Luka Jokic win back-to-back in 27, 28? They both retire and we never hear from him either again. I don't think it would hurt. Them retiring would be funny. It's like, yeah, we're done. Kyrie, 46 minutes ago. However you treated me when I was at my worst is how you truly felt about me. Yeah, he's not going back to Brooklyn. Yeah, he's not going back. He's not going back to Brooklyn. That confirms it. I'm still trying to figure out why we didn't get Austin Reeves, another first-round pick for the Lakers. Yeah, I mean, that's the... That's the part of this that really doesn't make sense. So I listen to rap. Some. I don't really listen to that much music, to be honest with you. All right, that's going to end it. Thank you all for coming out. Uh-oh. Oh, bad news, guys. This will not be on Spotify today. This episode will not be on Spotify. The audio got fucked. Wow, that's unfortunate. An unnamed NFL team is pushing to end the tush push. Did they try to do that last year? Tell Tim I said, what's up, King? All right, I will. All right. Spotify listeners are heartbroken now. Yeah, all 12 of... Paul with the 2. Hey, Slide, do you listen to bar Q music? No, not really. Although I did... how do you pronounce that? Baroque music? I did a music appreciation class where we listened to that, actually. Remember, I saw it in a vision, guys. Things are going to get better. Maybe not basketball-wise, but I'm saying in general. So we'll be live tomorrow, obviously, on Playback. I'm about to go on the DLLS stream. We'll be live tomorrow on Playback, and we'll be live back here on Wednesday morning to chat it all, to talk it all through. It's gonna be well, you don't need me to tell you. It's going to be must-see TV. Must-see TV. Must-see television. All right, thank you all for coming out. All the OGs, guys, I love you very much. Could have spent your Monday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. God damn. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps you out tremendously. It makes me feel so good. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys tomorrow night and Wednesday morning. Woo! Should be fun. Talk to you all later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.